I told myself I wasn't getting the new iPhone. Then I got a text from my provider that basically said that I was due for renewal in early February, but I could renew my contract, my mobile plan, as early as now, as early as a couple of weeks ago. So I think you would agree that the most logical thing to do was, of course, take the deal, right? And so I got an iPhone 15 Pro. And to be honest, it has been a while since I really felt compelled to get a new iPhone. I was, of course, a long-time user of Android phones for over a decade, I think. Samsung phones, Asus phones, a little bit of Techno, a little bit of Huawei as well. But around 3 years ago, I got back into the Apple system and I got an iPhone 13. Now, I'm not going to pretend there are a lot of things that took a while for Apple to adapt into or to come up with. And to be honest, one of those was, of course, USB C connectivity. And it wasn't really the phone itself that got me curious, but instead, all the possibilities that I could unlock with a USB C iPhone and all the accessories that I could use with it. Specifically, of course, for how I use my phone as an additional accessory for photography and content creation. So in this video, let's talk about some accessories that can help optimize your iPhone or your smartphone for your photographer or content creator lifestyle. Now, just like back when I got the iPhone 13 a couple of years back, the first accessory that I purchased right on the day that the phone arrived was, of course, the case. Because I think anyone who would be buying a phone would automatically think of what case to get. And it's unfortunate that Apple does not send out cases along with their phones, unlike what we've seen with Zen phones, for example, or even Samsung phones. But for iPhones, you would have to get a case for yourself. And actually, I was even thinking of looking for a cheap case for my day zero case, meaning that temporary case before I get my hands into the actual case that I will be using. I know it sounds so impractical, but thankfully it was pretty easy for me to order and get this case right away when I got the phone. And yeah, it's the same case that I've been using on the iPhone 13, and it is, of course, the Peak Design Everyday case. Now, of course, one of the things that came with the iPhone 15, which was in fact one of the things I knew about before the launch of the iPhone 15, is that the Everyday case now comes with more colors. And even though I told Peak Design at the time that I wasn't going to be getting the iPhone 15, I was quite excited about this redwood colored Everyday case. And so in reality, I actually turned down their offer to get sent one of these cases. So I just opted to purchase one from the local distributor so I could get it right away. So why am I sticking to the Peak Design Everyday case? Well, number one is the look. I really like the look, especially in this color. Plus, of course, this is still compatible with the creator kit, with the mobile tripod, and all the other accessories that Peak Design has for iPhones. Pretty basic, and the fact that I used my Peak Design Everyday case for the iPhone 13 for almost the entire duration that I was using that phone, and it never really failed me. So, makes perfect sense to still be using the same one. Now, the next thing is actually another obvious thing, but with the fact that this actually doesn't come with the phones anymore, we might as well talk about it. And of course, what I'm talking about are chargers. More specifically, what I'm talking about are GAN chargers. So if you're not familiar, GAN chargers use a different microchip, a different kind of technology. Basically, GAN or gallium nitride chargers use a different microchip that allows you to protect your phone better. This means that it actually communicates with your phone and of course using the right cables to be able to get the most efficient way to charge your phones and at the same time keep it safe. The reason why I think it's important for us to be talking about chargers is because since there isn't a charger included in the box, then you might as well make a great choice. And now, honestly, if you've been following me on social media, the brand Ugreen, my friends from Ugreen have been very generous, sending over almost every kind of charger they've been releasing. So I actually have so many options. For example, if you just want the simple charging adapter, they have this single slot USB-C 30-watt GAN charger. So it's pretty much like any other charger, but this of course has gallium nitride technology in it, so it can help you charge more efficiently and keep your batteries safe. Now next to that is of course a multi-charger when of course you need to charge more than one device. And my option for that is actually this Ugreen Robot GAN charger right here that is 65 watts and actually also has a nice screen right here that has its own animation that gives you some sort of indicator that your phone is charging and when your phone isn't charging. So that's another nice option. Plus the feet are magnetic, so it can help you keep the cover of the plugs safe by just putting it somewhere magnetic. This is good because this small of a charger at 65 watts can actually already charge a standard laptop. Of course, not a heavy creator laptop like this, but any laptop that uses USB-C charging can be charged up to 65 watts if it is the only one plugged in here. Of course, it would be more practical if you were to use this with an iPhone and an iPad or any other tablet, or even charge the batteries of your camera with the two USB-C ports and a single USB-A port. But I've actually had this for a couple of months already. I just really like this charger. But for my personal use for the iPhone 15, this is what really got me excited. This is a Ugreen 100 watt desktop charger. And it comes with this, which is basically a tilting platform that is compatible with MagSafe. So it's actually one of the most straightforward options for chargers because when you're on your desk, you basically just place your phone and it is going to magnetically attach to the charger and start charging, obviously. But what's actually also really good is that it also has additional USB-C ports, two USB-C ports up to 100 watts, and a single USB Type-A port up to 22.5 watts. So obviously, your phone is not going to be charging 100 watts. No way in hell, because that's going to ruin the battery and that's going to be charging way too fast. So you actually have a lot more room for charging other things. And given that this is actually 100 watts, it can even charge a laptop that is capable of USB-C charging. Of course, I also use this with my iPad and basically anything else that needs to be charged with USB, including this microphone that died right before I was about to shoot this video. Now, I don't even know what this feature is actually called, but I randomly just stumbled upon it when I turned my phone sideways. But basically, if you're charging your phone and you turn it sideways, it actually turns into a kind of nightstand or a desk clock or desk calendar or whatever. It basically displays a whole lot of things like a clock, a bigger clock, a calendar, and you can switch between different clock modes and different reminders and all of that you might need on your desk. And if you turn out the lights when you're using this, it will actually turn red. So if you're using this on your nightstand, for example, it's going to keep the screen on but displaying it in a very low power consumption mode, and it's still going to be showing whatever you want it to show. So now my problem is I want one for every desk that I use, which means my home office, my desk here in the studio, and right beside my bed, because that feature is actually really neat. Plus, of course, really just the convenience of having a MagSafe charger right there. Now, this next one is actually something that I never thought I'm going to be using, but when I found a way for my phone to fit better into my content creation workflow, I immediately thought that I needed it. and that is actually a smartphone cage. So this is the small rig iPhone 15 Pro cage, and there are actually a lot of reasons why this turned out to be really, really useful. Of course, the number one reason would be protection, because this is an aluminum cage for your iPhone 15 Pro. So as you can see, it slid right into the cage, and it is kind of like a huge bumper case for your iPhone. And I remember back in the days of the iPhone 4 and the 4S, I used to buy those really thin aluminum bumper cases that would keep the back of the phone exposed. And this is pretty much the same, except it's bulkier because, of course, it is adding more protection. Plus, of course, it is also adding more features in terms of using it with other accessories. Of course, this one comes with these handles right here that will allow you to use it more comfortably if you are filming videos or video content with your iPhone 15 Pro. And that's actually very easy to use. But alternatively, you can also turn this sideways and use this as a top handle for the phone if that's how you want to use it. Or you can even use that as a side handle if you are shooting vertical videos. Now, in addition to that, there's even a Bluetooth remote right here. So you just have to press this button to start shooting. Whether you're in photo or video mode, this is going to trigger your camera. It's basically a Bluetooth remote. But honestly, I find that really useful. But I do have other plans for this. Of course, what this has are button extensions. So it's going to be very easy to access your side buttons right here, both on the left and on the right. And at the same time, it also has that loop for the strap. So you can also use different straps on this cage. But more importantly, this has 1, 2, 3/4 inch threads right here, 2/4 inch threads here, another 3 here, and another 2 here at the bottom. And in addition to that, there is one cold shoe right here and another cold shoe right here. So you can imagine how many things you can actually attach to your phone for whatever purpose that you are using it in your photography or content creation workflow. Well, a couple of days before I found out that I could get the phone, I was actually given a tip by my good friend Jiggy Alejandrino on this new smartphone app. I'm actually not sure if it's actually new, but we just found out about it. It's called Monitor Plus, and it basically turns your phone into a monitor. It's free, but a lot of the bigger features are unlocked with a single purchase that is, if I'm not mistaken, around $25, so really not bad. But even if you just use the free version, there are a lot of things that this can help you when you are shooting with your phone as some sort of accessory or some sort of an aid. Now, basically, what I intended to use the cage on would be this. This is an adapter for the hot shoe of the camera so that it would have a sort of ball head and at the same time a 1/4 inch thread. And this can of course be connected to one of the 1/4 inch threads at the bottom of the cage so that you can have it on top of the camera. Now, Monitor Plus actually is compatible with the use of Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, but it is a smarter thing to do to connect it with a USB-C cable for a more seamless connectivity. So whatever USB-C capable camera you're using, that could be the A7 IV, the A7S III, or as simple as the Sony ZV-E10, just like the one I'm holding right here, then it can automatically function as a monitor. So it can be connected wirelessly, but even easier, you can use a USB-C cable. Just be sure to have the right kind of USB-C cable, the one that is very capable of transmitting data as well. But of course, in addition to acting like a field monitor, you can actually control so many things on the app already, and it basically acts as a remote. So if you want to use also the Wi-Fi connectivity, then basically you can have your phone away from the camera. Or if you're, for example, doing what I'm doing right now, I can just have the phone right in front of me. It's kind of like a powered up version of the Sony Imaging Edge and the Creator app. So it has been really reliable for the past couple of weeks that I've been using it. In addition, I've been using this app as well for recording what I can see on my camera for any shooting demos that I do. And I'm actually going to be coming out with a video about shooting interiors, wherein I'm actually demonstrating the shots as I was shooting the property. So that's basically what I used there. Now, whether you're using it wired with USB-C or with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, it's a really, really helpful tool. So do check that out. I'm not sponsored by this app in particular, but it is something I would like to freely share because it's something really useful for Sony users. I'm not sure if it's compatible with other camera brands. You can just check that out. Now, last but not the least would of course be storage solutions and things related to that. Now, this next thing that I want to talk about is actually something that I don't personally have, but it's really something I'm looking to get in the next couple of weeks. And that is, of course, a portable SSD. Now, of course, I already have portable SSDs, but there's one particular portable SSD that comes in the form of your typical thumb drive. It comes both with USB-C and USB Type-A heads, so you can use it with any kind of input that you want. But of course, what this means is that you can actually use that USB-C head directly on the smartphone. And if you are shooting with your iPhone, you can basically film directly onto that. So if you want to take your iPhone 15, iPhone 15 Pro, or Pro Max and take it to the next level of using it for filmmaking, then you can basically just plug that in and it will be recording directly onto the SSD. It comes in 512 GB and 1 terabyte. So that's already a lot of extra storage that you can have in a very small package. Again, I don't have it with me. I don't really own it yet, but I am personally getting one. And there we go. Basically, I just think that the connectivity with USB-C now opens up a lot more doors for more convenience and ergonomics when using iPhones as something that you use not just as a phone, but something that aids your content creation and your photography or your filmmaking work. So there, if there are things you want to add to this list, then definitely leave them down below in the comment section. And of course, if you have any questions about everything I said, then you can also comment down below. I did put some links on the description. I am an affiliate of Peak Design, so you can check out whatever Peak Design product you want and get it through that link. And you basically give me a nice cup of coffee without paying extra. At the same time, I did put the links of the other products, even though I am not an affiliate. But yeah, if you have any questions, leave them down below in the comment section. And if you're new to the channel, of course, my name is Nicco Valenzuela. I'm a landscape and architectural photographer who does a lot of gear reviews. Oh God. But if you're new to the channel, then you might want to click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. In any case, thank you for watching this video and see you next time.